Hello and welcome. This is Ruth Hamilton and today I have another video for Tonic Studios, and this one is the Shutter Card Creator die set, and it's one of the showcase die sets for October. So as you can see, it comes packaged in this on this acetate sheet and on a magnetic sheet behind that. It actually also comes in this large wallet, but I've taken it out of it just so that we can have a closer look at the dies. This is a little add-on to my video. I'm just popping this in between because I already had my video completely finished and uploaded whenever I was sent these stamps. I didn't even know they existed whenever I made the video, so there's no mention of it whenever I'm giving you the description of what's in the set. So these are really beautiful stamps actually, and they would have worked really well, and I'll probably use them at some later stage along with the die set. But just so that you know, if you're going to look for this die set, it does actually have this beautiful coordinating stamp set as well. I don't know if you have ever made a shutter card before, but there are no instructions with mine. There possibly will be in the die set that you get, I'm not sure, but it's actually very easy to make up. This is the main die. I'll just set this aside. This is the main die, and this cuts out this shape here, which then has the score lines in it, and all you need to do is burnish those, and that makes a lovely trifold card. That's the main part of the card already assembled. And if you're like me as well and you want to conserve your cardstock, this fits exactly across the front of an A4 piece of card, and if you just cut it in half, you'll be able to get two of these out of your A4 card. Just a little tip to help you save. So that's what the main die does. Then we've got some decorative pieces, so you could decorate the front of that with these panels. You've got a lovely one here that has a little pinhole edge on it. You can just see it there, a little detailed edge. Or there's one here that has just got a straight line on it. And those can cut out a shape, so maybe patterned paper or whatever, and that will go on the front there. It could also go on the inside, because obviously this card is going to open up with a lovely surprise inside, so you could decorate the whole thing and be very elaborate with it. And then you can also use these two dies here to cut out a beautiful shape in some patterned paper, or it looks best actually on plain cardstock with the outline die, and these two are verso, so that will make a lovely pattern to add on to those two panels. Now this one cuts a piece which will fit down the centre, and these are the two tabs that fold back, and they will make your shutter. I've already gone ahead and cut it here. I've actually cut a circle out of the centre, and you'll see why I've done that in a minute or two. But there we are. That's what that cuts out. You've got the circle for cutting out in the centre there, and you have another die that fits in there. I've just mislaid it at the moment because I was using it. Right, we'll just go ahead and I'll come back with that one in a second or two, but it actually cuts out this which says "with love." And then we've got all these different panels which you can add on to different parts of the card and make, you can see everything there, and make lots of different patterned elements to it. You have these two pieces, this one and this one. Now to do the first card that I'm making, I've cut out two of these, and as you can see, these slot together and they've got little folded back tabs there. So I'll show you how to add those to reveal the little sentiment in the centre as well when we come to that. And there's a few little decorative elements here too, and then we've got this other little shutter piece as well to do a slightly different shape on it too. So before I go any further, if you don't already subscribe to my channel, I'd love you to do that. I'm always having regular videos for Tonic and for some of my own as well, and if you subscribe and come back and see me, well, we can keep in touch. And don't forget to leave me a few comments down below. It's I feel sometimes whenever I'm chatting away here I'm talking to myself, so it's nice at the end of the video when I actually publish it. It's nice to see all your nice comments as well there too, so thank you very much for that. Also, I will have my affiliate links for this down at the bottom, and I appreciate everybody who buys from those as well, so don't forget, those don't cost you any extra when you buy from them, but it does give me a little commission, and I do appreciate that. So without further ado, I shall set this aside and then we'll have a little look at how to make up this little card. So, as I've said already, I've got this part already cut out. I have gone ahead with some Lilac Waves Speciality embossed card from Tonic. It's Craft Perfect. And I've cut out a piece, I always write on the back here just to remind me, and this piece is 10 centimetres wide by 13.5 centimetres long, and that just fits nicely into there and leaves a little edge all around. So I'll stick that down in just a moment or two. Now, for the purposes of my first card, I'm not going to decorate the inside of it too much there. I will decorate the front of it, but I'm going to leave these panels plain. I'll do a more fancy one in a moment or two. Now, next we have this little piece here. So I have cut out that large die shape, as I showed you. I've cut it out in white, and then I've taken this one, and I've cut that out in the Lilac Waves, and before I have glued the lilac one to the white one, I took my circle die, this one with a little pinhole effect on it, and I cut it through the Lilac Waves first of all. Then I glued that on top of this white piece. Now remember, whenever you're going to cut that right through the two pieces, I feel anyway, it's better to do it singly, just so that you don't warp your card or whatever. So cut it out on the lilac one and then glue the lilac to the white one. Make sure that these two parts are not folded in when you put them through your die cutting machine, or it'll leave you little ridges in here that you don't want. And also, when you're lining this up, you'll be able to get those little pinholes just in the right place. You'll feel that when you set it down in and you try to move it round, you'll know it's in the right place when these little pieces fit exactly into those pinholes. That will mean then, when you cut it out the second time, that will all be perfectly lined up. So I hope that helps you when you're doing that. Just take your time and do it. Now, what happens next is this piece then is going to get attached on here. So you'll glue those two tabs down. Then I'm going to put this little white piece in here. I kept the white piece that came out of the centre here, and then I used the decorative die, which I have mislaid, but I'll show you the other one here anyhow. That's this one. So they have verso edges, so they cut into it, so you'll need to use this one and then this one to get this shape. So when all this is in place here, I'm going to put that exactly into that centre. And when that's done, I'll put these two tabs. So what you're going to do is add glue or tape on the side of those. Put them across here so that both of these elements interlock like that. Bring them out to the outside just to where that fold is, and then when you fold this over, that will attach this to here, and when you open it up, those two pieces will fold together nicely. Anyhow, you can watch how I do it here. So, do you see how easy that is and how effective that is? You just interlock these two pieces, and because these are attached to the sides, when you open the card, then those are attached and they open up too and reveal that little message inside. So now I'll go ahead and add some detail to the front of the card. Okay, for the next part of my card, I cut this sort of pinhole rectangle again, and I used this die, and I used the both of them together because this one doesn't have any outside edges. This is a verso die, and I did that in the same card there, and I've attached that to the front, and I've got another one here which I'm going to attach on here. And then I just decided that I would decorate this after all just a little bit on the inside. So I took the plain rectangle die and I cut it out in the same card, and I have just cut that in half and put half down here. So actually what you could do, as I mentioned before, is use the full die and put it on here before you attach these, and that will decorate the whole piece, and I'll show you that in my next card. But then I thought that just because this card was quite plain on here, it's nice, but a little bit of decoration would be good as well. So I have then used the larger die along with, there it is, and I've kept them together. So I've used the larger rectangular die here, and then this part to cut out the detail. So that cuts out the top half, and then you remove this and flip it over and cut out the second part. That will leave this circle solid, so you've got to use one of your circle dies again and remove the circle from the center of that, and then that gives you this piece, which you can then glue onto the front of this. Now I thought that was really nice with those little pinhole effects, but just when I looked at it afterwards I thought an extra bit of detail would look good too. So there we are, that's how that's going to look, and I'm going to glue those pieces on. Then to hold it together, what I've done is I've used this long die. I don't think I realised when I was looking at this first of all what it was, but it's actually very, very obvious that this is the piece which creates the band to go around the card, and these are the fold lines in it. So I've got it here, and I've just put a little piece of red liner tape on here. Now you know that you could cover this seam. I'm just going to glue that together, but what I want to do is not pull it so tightly that it won't go around the card. So I'm just putting it down like that and holding the two pieces together, and then I've die cut the circle and from white and from purple, and then I've done the just for you into the center. That could have gone over here and covered this join. It doesn't really matter either way, I could do that either way. So that then I'll show you at the end when I put all this together how that slides over. So that's the first little card, and I've gone ahead and prepared another two cards, and I'll just show you what I've done with those. I've used some patterned paper this time, and instead of using the detailed die, I've used the first outer rectangle and just cut patterned paper from that because I thought that was really nice on there. Okay, and I've used the lilac paper then this time, the lilac waves, to go on top here. I have used the plain rectangle down here, and then I've used some patterned paper. I put the patterned paper on behind this time as well, the way I did on here, but I've used the two different dies for across the center, so it's coming out. I'll show you it here. I've used this one rather than the die that I used for the other one, so it opens slightly differently in the center. As you can see, there's just splits apart like that, and then there's a little diamond type die here, and I've used that. I've cut it out 6 times in patterned paper to match, and down here and just a little bit across there, and then that's the thank you in the center there, and I thought that turned out really well. At this time I have used the tiny little flower from here and the little leaves. They're all in this set together here, and I've put them on with some crystal drops in the center, and that's the little band for that one, and that slides down over the top as well. Here we are. So that's the two cards made as the dies were intended to, and then I like to try and do something slightly different with it just to make sure that there's a few different options and you're not just tied to doing one thing. So I thought about it, I had a quick look and came up with this idea. So this is, I'll just get the name of this pack of cards here, it's another Craft Perfect speciality card, and that's Miami Mint. And I've used the other pattern die this time to create the pattern in the centre. Obviously it's still a verso die, so I needed to cut it out twice, the outside edge and then this one which doesn't have an outside edge on it, and I've put that on there. Then I've done the same thing in here, so I've cut that out 4 times and put it on the back and front. Now this time, just to be a little bit different, I have taken the die that was to create the part for the centre there, that's this die, and I have cut that out in the mint card again, and I have cut this part off so it has just got the flap up at the top end here and is trimmed off. So really what you have is a card which opens up like this, and then this opens up and you can do your writing, whatever you want, on in here. Okay, so this time, rather than have the card just flat or have a band around it, I thought I would use these pieces just in a different way to hold it together. So these are the parts that I used on the front, the first card that I made. Just to recap, they are the pieces that went on the inside to create the opener there. But this time I've put some red liner tape on the back, and I have put little flowers from the set as well on there. And what I'm going to do is just remove the backing from that, from both of those, and then slot those both together, because this is going to be the way the card actually closes now. Close that over and set that down, gauge where the middle is or near enough, and just keep it straight, and there you are. And that's just another way of closing the card. So I hope you've enjoyed that. That's 3 different ways of using that, and don't forget, if you have any questions or any comments you'd like, tell me down below there, and all the other details will be in the description. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.